Good morning, everyone. This is Leah Dixon from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and I am popping in for my regular Wednesday morning Facebook Live. There's the ding saying I've gone live. Awesome. And so I'm just going to pop a little comment into the comment box right now. So join me. I'll be able to see any comments you may leave. Today I am coming to you to create a card using the Celebration Tidings stamp set. Now, actually, I wanted to show you, oops, try not to spill my coffee here. I wanted to show you in the catalog where that was. This is in our August to December mini catalog, so the one I like to call the holiday catalog. And I'm just going to find the page for you. I should have done this before, sorry. Let's see, Celebration Tidings, page 58 in the mini catalog is where you're going to find this stamp set. And there are some coordinating dies as well, these really awesome Celebration label dies. So today I'm actually not going to be using the label dies, but in my September newsletter, there's actually going to be kind of like a bonus content video for people on how to make a little treat box using those Celebration labels. So today I'm going to be working just with this stamp set and starting to do a little bit of creating for Thanksgiving and just being grateful. Back to school is going to be kind of a tough time, and there's going to be a lot of people who I am thankful for to help me get through the days. So I'm going to just do a little bit of creating. So we're going to be using the pumpkin and the always grateful sentiment. So let's get started. I am going to keep it fairly simple today, and we're just going to use a very vanilla background. Good morning, Danielle. So this is your standard background, cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored at 4 1/4. And then we just fold that over. And there you have it. We have our card base. So we don't need that just yet. The next piece I have is a piece of crumb cake crumb cake cardstock, and it has been cut at 3.5 by 4 7/8. And the reason for that kind of unusual sizing is so that it coordinates with the second largest stitched rectangle die. So I'm actually going to move everything out of the way, and I am going to bring in my fabulous new cut and emboss machine. So I haven't shown this machine very much. It's brand new. In fact, customers can't even buy it yet. This is only available for demonstrators until September 1st. The good news about that is if you are not a demonstrator, you can actually get this instead of paying about $200. Oh, good morning, Eileen. Good morning, Val. Instead of paying about $200 after shipping and taxes, you can actually get this for $135, shipping and taxes included, if you put it in as your starter kit item. It would only be one item, but it would be $135. So pretty awesome. So for travel, this is going to be a little bit of a loud bang. Just give me a second. There we go. So you can hear it's very sturdy, like when it's closed, it's not coming open. And now it's this great little compact piece, kind of like, I don't know, some people have said it looks like a toaster. This great little compact piece for traveling. Fits in bags really nicely. Good morning, Kathy. So nice to see you guys. I can't wait to be able to stamp with people again. So I'm going to open this up, and you can hear it kind of click down in place. And then I'm going to grab my plates. And I love the plates because they're actually all numbered and have information on them. So this one has a number 1 at the top, and it shows me what I need to create my different pieces. You know what, Jacqueline? It's very, very similar to the Big Shot. My Big Shot, however, was 20 years old. The handle kept flying off no matter how many times I had Noah repair it. And I kind of worried during classes, but even my own stuff as I was prepping, I was worried that my Big Shot wasn't going to, kind of last. So if you already have a Big Shot, No, you probably don't need this. Although if you travel to scrap, wow, it takes up a lot less space. Let me just say, really, really convenient. So I'm just going to go on here. So I've put in what they call plate number 2. And this is just kind of like a bump up because our machine is big enough to accommodate those thick 3D dies. So plate 2 just kind of cuts out some of that space. Then, and it's not a cutting surface, and it says that right on it. Now I have plate 3. Now you get 2 plate 3s when you buy your machine. This is your cutting surface. I'm going to put down my DSP, and I'm using this gorgeous plaid Tidings. And then I'm going to pop the second largest stitched rectangle die on here. Oh, you have the fold away one, Val? Nice. No, I got just our standard Stampin' Up! One. So as you can see on here, I'm using the stitch rectangle dies. I'm using the second largest one. And now my next layer is I'm going to pop in a second number 3. So I just adore that they are all labeled. Okay, so now I've got my whole sandwich done. I'm just going to start putting this in. Now, I should have put my rectangle dies on kind of an angle. Oh, sorry, you guys. I'm going to have to just move this. Oh, darn it. My sister's boyfriend made homemade beetroot powder, and that was my reminder to put it in my morning smoothie. Except that today's Wednesday, so I'm having my smoothie later. All right, so I should have put that rectangle die through on an angle and it wouldn't have had so much of a big pop, but because I'm using a piece of 6x6 DSP, I wasn't really going to have enough space. All right. Oh, thanks. It's my alarm. I don't want to be like, you know, yelled at, but I need to remember to do these things. Otherwise I go through the day and it's like 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I haven't had breakfast or lunch. All right, so now we're done with this. I can just close that up and put it off to the side. Yeah, I hear you, Jacqueline. The pressure going on it, and mine was so old. I actually didn't sell mine to finance my new machine because I want to have a backup machine in case, you know, we go back to live classes and I want to have lots of people die cutting at once. But for sure, if you're not running in-home classes, and I mean, if this whole COVID thing continues and I can't start doing that, I may very well sell mine. You know, just to help put a bit more money back in my pocket. But I was lucky. I had flex points that I could use to get mine. So I actually just got it completely with product credit using my flex points. So maybe look at that option as well, Jacqueline, if you haven't already used yours. All right, so I've cut out that plaid. And we are ready to go with creating our card. Just trying to keep my space clean. There we go. All right, so bring back those bits. So now you can see at 3.5 by 4 7/8, that just creates a really nice border around that piece of plaid. Okay, so we're ready to start putting things together. I am going to grab my Stampin' seal. Now, I knew it was going to happen. I've lost my cap. Now, it doesn't actually dry out the glue, which is kind of nice. I was a little bit worried that that's why we had a cap on it. It doesn't seem to have done that at all. What it is, though, is when I go to put this into like a bag, if I was going to go stamp somewhere else, I'm leaving this sticky end exposed, which I'm not too keen on. So I'm going to have to really search for that lid before I have to do any travel stamping. Oh, you should, Jacqueline, because, you know, it's coming that time of year where we've got to spend them up anyways. And if you've got them, it sure does take a chunk out of the cost of getting a new one. All right, so I'm going to pop that on there. There we go. And now before I adhere this, I'm going to bring out an older ribbon that we have. This is our terracotta tile. I'm not even sure what kind of ribbon they call it. Scalloped linen ribbon. There we go. So this comes in all of last year's, well, and I guess still current this year, in colors. So including the terracotta tile, which is one of my favorites. So I'm going to cut that just a little bit bigger than the plaid piece that I have. And I'm going to put some seal right in the center. Oops, darn it. Right in the center back and then on the two sides. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to come just above halfway. Oops, there we go. Try and get that to stick in the center. So just above halfway is where I'm going to put that, and then flip the ends under. So now my terracotta tile is stuck on there. Now I probably should have measured and made sure that this was going to be the right size. I have a piece, oh, that is a little high. Okay, I'm going to actually move that down. So I do have a piece of cardstock here. It's cut at 4. Well, let me just double check that. I'm going to say it's cut at 4 by 1 3/4. So I actually want it to sit about there, which means I'm going to put my terracotta tile there. All right. Oh, I know, Danielle, this plaid is incredible. And the bumblebee with the terracotta tile is gorgeous. And then Jacqueline, I know you're a lover of color, so you're probably going to love the next color that I introduced to this, because I either tend to work monochromatic or I work in 3s. And so my third color today, because I don't consider crumb cake a color, is going to actually be rich raspberry. All right, so we've got this ribbon attached. We're good to go. It is making this a little bit heavier, and I know I'm going to be adding more layers to this, so I'm going to grab my Seal Plus to put this one down on my card front. Okay, and I must say, I know there was a lot of controversy in the beginning about this seal, and oh, it's hard to use and all of that. I have really come to love it. Now that you remember to do that little wrist twist. It's so easy. All right, so there we go. We've got that attached to our card front. Now we're going to actually do some stamping with our Celebration Tidings. And I hear you, Jacqueline. I actually was going to only get the dies, and I thought, oh, well, what's the point? I want the stamp set too. Makes for better resale value and stuff like that. Oh, so I've got this. I don't actually need to pull anything out. I've already got these 2 stamps, and they are 2 separate stamps on blocks, and then I've got the Always Grateful on a block. So I'm going to grab the first pumpkin, and I don't have to do too much thinking and work here because I've cut my piece at 1 3/4. I know that it's going to fit perfectly when I stamp this. Oh, you know what, Jacqueline? I love the Tombow. I still use it quite regularly, but I know that my customers don't love liquid glue. Lots of them feel like they're 2-year-olds splashing around and getting sticky fingers, which is why I always use snail for my classes, and now I'll always use seal. So there's my first pumpkin stamped on there, and so I just stamped it as close as I could to the top. Now, you notice I stamped vertically. I don't know why, but if I want things to be straight, I need to work vertically. Just a little weird thing with me. And I'm going to go in and right now be super brave and stamp the bottom as well without kind of measuring, because at 1 3/4 strip here, I am pretty much guaranteed that as long as I stamp this near the bottom, I'm going to leave myself enough space. Like, you'd really have to mess this one up to not leave enough space. So there we go. Stamp that. Oh, that's a little off center. Oh well. Our eye will be distracted by the time we're done because we're going to add in so many other things. So now here I have a 1/2 inch piece by 3.5 of crumb cake. Doesn't really matter how long it is as long as it's long enough for your sentiment. I'm going to grab my rich raspberry ink here and my sentiment, Always Grateful. And, I'm going to try to make this centered, but really it doesn't matter because we're going to be snipping up the ends anyways. So pop that down. And now we're going to snip up the end. So you can use snips for this. You can use our fancy new banners die, or you can let old habits die hard. And I'm just going to use my tailored tag punch because then I can pop it in, figure out exactly where I want it, and go for it. So you got a lot of options for creating this little banner. All right. I do have the banner punch. I do quite enjoy it. But for something like this, I just want quick and simple. So that's going to pop on there after we've done some coloring. Yeah, some one-on-one teaching again would be nice. And I think, you know, our numbers are going up, so do it now before we're told we can't. I have had some opportunity to be like in open spaces and stamp with some people. It's been quite nice. Okay, so I've got 3 blend sets here that we're going to come in and do some coloring with. I have Terracotta Tile, Rich Raspberry, and Old Olive. So I personally always start with my darks. You don't have to. You can start with your lights. I really, you know, I know that people train on them in certain ways, but I actually don't think that there is a right or a wrong with these in terms of which one to do first. What I will say is that the sooner you can work with them together, the better, because they're still wet and they'll blend. Whereas if you kind of do one and then come back to it a while later, the ink's all dried up and it doesn't blend as well. All right, so there, that's going to lighten quite a bit as it dries. The light terracotta tile gets really light. So those were our terracotta tile combo together. Oops, sorry, just bumped my camera. Now I'm going to come in and do my green. So I'm taking my dark Old Olive with the pointy end, not the brush end. And I'm just going to do all like the little highlight places, like on the leaves and the centers, that kind of thing. And just come in and do that. All right, nope, that one too. This stamp is so pretty. I cannot get over it. I just love the look of them. I am not a huge Halloween fan, but I fell in love with the cobwebs in it. They're like just all like all scrolly and beautiful. I don't know. I just really, something about this stamp set really appealed to me. And I think because it's fancy-ish, but it allows you to do real simple stamping because it's literally pop it down in black, give it some color. All the hard work was done by the actual stamp designer. You don't really need to add too much else with this. It just would get busy. So, yeah. And I'm kind of making up decisions here as to what's going to be a leaf and what's going to be a flower. Or not even really a flower, but a purple leaf. So now I'm going to come in last time here. I've got my dark skinny tip here just to do a few little pieces. Oh, I guess that's all. Just those 2. And then I'm going to come in with my light and again with the skinny tip. Oh, I know, Jacqueline, you love the Halloween stuff, and your swap card was gorgeous. I just, you know what, it's not that I don't like the Halloween stuff. I just find that I don't have a lot of use for it. It's not a holiday that I tend to send out cards and stuff for. I think it's really fun, but not something I personally would use. All right. So there's our coloring done, and it's my kind of coloring. Nothing too crazy. You can't really mess it up. It's just, you know, kind of fill in a few little empty spots and away you go. So now that that's done, I am going to flip over my sentiment, find on my very messy desk the mini dimensionals that I had. I'm going to pop one on each end. Don't need too much here. And here comes my challenging part, is getting this straight as I put this on. I don't know why I always have such a hard time getting things straight. Even I noticed my DSP that I cut is not straight. There we go. So that's on there. Now I'm going to flip this over again and grab regular dimensionals, which I know live around here somewhere as well. Well, we'll start a new sheet because I can't find the old one that I was using. And honestly, they're right in front of me usually. Like the mini dimensionals that I couldn't see were sitting right beside my left hand, like craziness. All right. So here we go. Pull those off. And now we're not quite finished this card. There's one more little piece to do once we put this on. So this is just slightly wider than the 2 layers that I have underneath it, but it matches my outside, so I'm not concerned about that. There we go. So we've popped that down. Oh, that's funny, Jacqueline. You know what? It was a stamp set that initially when I saw it, I didn't like love it. Probably like you, I loved the dies, but I didn't love the stamp set. And then I saw a few things created with it, and then it was on my must-have list. All right, so last thing we're going to do here is I've pulled in all the trimming embellishments. And I know they're Christmas embellishments. I'll use them. Don't worry, those stars look so cute on the top of the little gnome with her little star at the top, her Christmas tree hat. Oh my gosh, so adorable. So, I mean, these are going to get, obviously they've been used up. I've used a ton of them. But I'm going to come in here with my paintbrush end, and I'm going to take some of these white ones and color them up. These can be any color you want that you have a blend for. And so I'm going to come in here, color up these white dots, and I really should let them sit for a while to dry, and then I'd often like blot them off or whatever, but I'm going to be lazy today and hopefully not ruin my card. So I'm going to grab a pair of scissors. I was hoping for my snips, but these will do. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it down near the base and slide it. Oh my. Kind of loosen it so that the adhesive comes with it. Then I'm going to come in and snip them up. Now, with the rhinestones and stuff, I find you don't have to do that loosen it bit. You can just go in and snip them up. But with these ones, I've been finding that if you don't do that, I'm leaving the adhesive, you can see here I've left the adhesive behind, and it doesn't come off. So just start by a little, oh, and that one didn't as well. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I got it. All right. Uh-oh. Stay on top of your adhesive. There we go. And then I just kind of, oh, forget it. I'm going to get inky hands. So sometimes when you color the way I colored this one, the ink gets underneath. Yeah, this isn't going to work. So sometimes when you color the way I did, I got a little crazy with my inks, and they got between the embellishment and the sticky spot. And that's where mini glue dots save the day, because mini glue dots are exactly the right size. Oh, I can't pick mine up right now. Are exactly the right size to go on the back of these if for some reason you do what I did and destroy your adhesive. All right, so I know coloring the white ones, it was like that white crinkle ribbon. Like the fact that you can color it and make it any color, just like, I'm sold. I will use a ton of that. Thank you. All right, there we go. Now let's see if I have better luck with this next one. Nope, that one also. So I think it's because I didn't push them down before I colored, and then yeah, all that ink just managed to get right underneath them, and you know, anything that's wet won't stick. So there we go. All right, but luckily I have mini glue dots, so the day is saved. And I'm actually going to put this, yeah, actually I'm going to put it up on top, up in the white, or very vanilla, sorry, not whisper white. All right, so 3 just little embellishments on there just to add a little bit more of a splash of color, and that is our card for today. So really fun stamp set to work with. And I hope that those measurements, like that idea of it being 1 3/4, helps you for good alignment. And then this piece is a 1/2 inch. But of course, play around with it. Do what you want. Maybe you want a larger sentiment. That's what I love about this being 2 separate pieces, is if you wanted a larger sentiment, you could stamp something larger in there and then just move this piece further down so you're not stuck at that 1/2 inch size. But if you're using the sentiment here in this stamp set, it's a 1/2 inch. So there you have it. That is our card for today. I also wanted to let you guys know that we still got time to use our bonus day coupons. So if you haven't used your bonus day coupons, whether you're a demonstrator or a customer, make sure you get your order placed with yourself or with your demonstrator and use those up. They're only good until August 31st, so we're halfway through the month. You've still got time, but you do need to get those used. And also to keep an eye on my Facebook page events. I'm going to kind of be slowly adding events this week. So yesterday I added in a monthly card club. I've got 2 people signed up. We're looking for 4 more people to join us. It is a 6-month commitment. All the details are there. You can go to Facebook or you can go to my blog, stampinwithleah.ca, and check out our monthly techniques club for all the details on that. If you're in Canada, anywhere, I would love to have you. It is virtual, so you don't need to be able to get over to my house to attend. So that's happening, and then throughout this week, each day, I'm going to be posting a new class for September. So thank you guys so much for watching. It was always nice to chat with you guys. Oh, sorry, Danielle. I know. That was what happened to me with the Celebration Tidings. It didn't go on my first order, and then I saw some cards made with it, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. There's some beautiful Christmas stuff coming up this week as well if you watch my blog, or sorry, my Facebook Lives. And just my Facebook page, there's going to be every day I've got a card being posted or some kind of 3D item being posted using this stamp set. So really beautiful stuff. Yeah, so I think that's about it for now. I will maybe pop on later this week and do another Facebook Live. We'll see how things go with the kids and the weather. I heard Friday is supposed to be rainy and my kids are all busy that day. So sounds like a great Stampin' day to me. Yeah, so that's about it. If you're just popping on now, because I noticed a few of you just popped on, go back, watch the video. I hope you enjoy it and continue to enjoy your fabulous summer. Bye all.